Guys, we're at the Chicago Auto Show today. I actually signed up and I'm here on Media and Social Influencer Day. This is something I want to do for a while. I've just never tried it. So we're here, we're looking at trucks today. The show actually doesn't open until tomorrow, so there's like nobody here, so we can get a really good look at everything. This should be fun. Okay, we'll start with the Rams. Of course, I drive a Ram. I drive a 2012 3500 Mega Cab. So there's a few things different for 23s. Here's one. They finally changed the tow mirrors. The tow mirrors are a little bit different now. They're in moose mode all the time, so they look different. You got a big convex mirror on the bottom there, so that's pretty cool. This one is a night edition. You can tell by the black badges. It's got the new sport hood for 2023. This is a pretty good looking truck. I like this billet silver color. This one's a limited, so let's go look inside. So the new limited interior, actually been quite a bit the same for a few years, but it's very nice. I sat in one of these at the auto show a few years ago. I've liked it ever since. This has the new digital dash instead of analog. It's a big 12-inch screen, and you can also get some aux switches down here if you want to add some things. I see this one has the regular gear shift. Some of them have the turn dial, which I don't know if I'm real excited about, but probably get used to it. And the center console is quite a bit different than the one in my truck. There's a lot of room. You got all this room down here. You got wireless charging for the phone. You got USB and USB-C ports. Console slides out there. I think you got cup holders here. Storage for coins and other stuff there. And then this opens also. There's a ton of storage in there. And it tells you how far you can fill it. So you can still close this door here. This flips up, so you can keep stuff from sliding from the front to the back. You can see how that goes back there too. Close it. You can just kind of set it up all kinds of ways. And you have the dual glove boxes. My truck has that. That one's a little different setup with the button, but 2 glove boxes. Store lots of stuff in there. So I have a Mega Cab, and I don't see any Mega Cabs here in the Ram booth. So this is a regular crew cab, so Mega Cab has about a foot slab back here. So you have a ton of leg room, and you have some space behind the seat, and the seats recline, which about nobody else has in their rear seat. Like the 1500s have probably as much room, but you don't have the space behind the seat. Toyota does the same thing with their big cab, but the Mega Cab gives you that space behind the seat. But one thing you don't get in the Mega Cab that the regular HD crew cabs have is if you lift up this floor mats, you have these storage boxes under here, which are kind of cool. I don't know why they never have done those in the Mega Cab, but sometimes I kind of like to have those. I'm looking to maybe get rid of the toolbox in my truck, so I'm trying to figure out how to do that without having stuff rattling around in the cab. One way I could do that is with the Ram boxes. So pop open the Ram box, so that pops up. So you got all this storage down in here on both sides of the bed. Would easily hold all my tools. I can see there's a place you can put some dividers in to organize stuff. You have a regular power outlet there, and I believe these have drains in them, so you can fill them up with ice and things that you would like to have in ice. So I'd consider a Ram box on my next truck. One thing about that is if we go and open the tailgate, we go back here, so to make room for the Ram box. So in the bed, when you have the Ram box, it's kind of all squared off all the way to the front and the back around the fender wells, but it's still the same width. So I still think I could get a pallet of corn seed in there, squeeze it in there. So I have to be a little bit more careful with the forklift. So Ram box is something interesting. Give me my length back in the bed instead of having the crossover box on the back. I would kind of like to do that, but I do have one pet peeve about the Ram boxes. So looking at this blue Rebel, one thing on the boxes, so that's closed. I have always hated this big gap in here. It looks like they're not closed as much as they should be, but that's all the way closed. You can see it humps up a little higher here. I have never liked that. I don't think it looks that great, and all the HDs are like this. Now if you go over to the current body style 1500s, there's one right next door. These Ram boxes fit a heck of a lot tighter And I noticed they seem to be a little bit lighter on the lid as well. Pretty much same setup inside, just they close, just that gap looks nicer. Maybe I'm picky, but see this one, that's closed, but it's just kind of a big ugly gap that I don't like. So, oh well. Another thing 1500s have that the HDs don't have, not yet. You got a handle down here. You can open them barn door style, which is kind of cool. And you can open the other one. So then if you got stuff in here, you don't have to reach over the tailgate to get it, which is kind of handy. But I think for me, I'm not wanting to forklift past all this, so I probably don't want to do that. And I think you can only get these with the ram boxes. I think you have to get the ram boxes to get these because of the way it's made. Don't quote me on that, but I think that's correct. So this 1500 has the turnstile transmission. Can't turn it here, sitting here at the show, but this is where the four-wheel drive is in my truck, so I was kind of messing with it the other day. I was like, I would get used to that, especially like hooking up a trailer or switching back and forth all the time. I'm really used, that, but I'd probably get used to that if I had to. Third option in Ram shifters, the TRX has it, so you can get a console shifter. Okay, so we found the GM trucks. We're on the Chevy side, so 2024 Silverado HD. So now we have the new interior that the half tons have had for a while. We finally have that in the HD trucks. So they finally updated these. These have basically had the same interior my dad's 2014 1500 has had for a long time. So these have the bed steps, so GM and Ford both have these now. Ram doesn't have these, so they would be nice because I'm not the tallest. Like I said, I don't think they're that attractive like on the Ford, but pretty functional. So I do like that. And Chevy, and I guess GMC would too, have the steps and the bumpers. My dad's truck has this, but these are a lot bigger now, so easy to get in there. So that's a nice feature. So next door I found a half-ton Z71 that has more of the whole center console. It's got a console shifter which kind of clicks back and forth. Not everything's lit up in here. This one's not all the way plugged in yet, I don't think. So you got the new big horizontal screen, like I liked on the Ford. Turning knobs for temperature and volume, so easy to grab right there. One thing, I saw this on a video the other day, the GMs have, I feel like this is just a good spot for your phone. If you have wireless charging, you just toss it right in there. That's a good spot for it, and it's kind of out of the way from anything else. So again, I like these updated interiors in the GM trucks. So also on the Chevy and GMC trucks, so you got Allison in 6.6, but this one's not a Duramax. It's got the 6.6 gas, and they now have a 10-speed Allison with the gas engine. So that's pretty interesting too. So got all kinds of options in gas. I probably actually maybe like this 6.6 and maybe the 6.8 or 7.3 in the Ford over the 6.4 Hemi in the Ram. So I don't know. I used to have a 5.7 Hemi and a 04 half ton, and that was a great engine, but just not that familiar with the newer truck engines with the bigger displacement and the 6.4 in the heavy duty trucks. But yeah, you can get 10-speed Allison with 6.6 gas now. There you got your digital cluster and your multimedia screen over there here in the high country. So digital all around. A lot of screen space in here. Looking at the GMCs, look at a couple of them here. This white one is a AT4, which is kind of their off-road package. I think this is a nice looking truck. I think the AT4 gets you the red tow hooks there. These are the new redesigned ones. This one is a Duramax, where the Chevy was a gas, and this one's got power running boards on it, which are down. This one's not hooked up to any power, so the inside's not really doing anything at the moment. Similar to the upper trim level Chevys. But look in the back, one thing. So obviously no mega cab like my Dodge, but they do have a little bit of space here in each of the back seats. You can open that and you got a little space back there to put a little something, so that's kind of neat. You just don't have that like foot of space behind the seats like I do. And again, you have the bed step, which is nice, and the bumper step, which is also nice. And GMC and Chevy have some different tailgate stuff too we can look at. Okay, GMC tailgate stuff. So you can press this, the top button, and just bring this part down. So if you have something long and you don't want to leave the whole tailgate down, you can stick some lumber in here. And all trucks have this. You can put some like 2x4s in for dividers, so you can kind of have two levels to it there. So this will just go back up normally like that. So if you press the bottom button, you have a nice assist down. And then you can flip just this part up, so you can kind of block cargo in here if you have stuff that's the right length, I guess. And then let's see, if we put that back down and then find the top button, that drops down. You can drop this down again. This one has the option, the Denali Ultimate over there didn't. So you've actually got Bluetooth, USB, you've got a couple of speakers here, which that could be useful. It's like a literal tailgate party. We have a drive-in movie theater at home, so you could, just sit right here, listen to the movie. We pop out a couple lawn chairs. You could listen to the movie straight from the truck. So that'd be kind of cool. I usually bring like a little rechargeable DeWalt Milwaukee radio with me. But that's what the fully featured tailgate looks like on the GMC. And of course, this is also a step, so you can get up in the bed. There is a handle in here that you can fold out, which if I had the cover folded up, that would stick up kind of like the Ford. You can grab the handle and get up in there, so that's kind of cool. So this tailgate can do all kinds of things if you want it to. So another big GMC truck. This is a Denali Ultimate 2500 HD with with the Duramax. So this is getting in the range of like $100,000 pickup truck. I think one of the things about the Ultimate, they're calling it the Vader Chrome grill, which is kind of like a shadow chrome or black chrome, whatever you want to call it. Some of the accents are like that. This is just a super, super nice truck. It's a lot like the High Country on the inside. It's got these nice kind of tan brown seats, which are nice. I did notice though, if we get up in here, the GMs, we showed the Dodge had all that crazy center console storage space. These just don't have quite as much. You don't have the thing that slides back and forth and everything. Yeah, the Denali is a really nice truck. One complaint I've gone and built a few of these online. I would think in the Denali you would get painted fender flares, but it's an option only on some colors, I've noticed. I would think in the highest end truck you would want all the trim pieces painted. I can see where it's nice, this isn't going to get rock chips. It's kind of a small gripe. Otherwise, this is a super, super nice truck, the Denali Ultimate. Pretty cool. Okay, so I've been thinking about if I get a new truck. I haven't really used the gooseneck on mine in 2 or 3 years, so I'm really not towing heavy anymore. I love my Covens. I love the way the diesel drives. I'm not sure now on a new truck. A diesel is like a $10,000 to $12,000 option. Not sure if I'll make use of it. So I'm thinking about a gas truck next time around. So that's where the Fords get kind of interesting, because they have that new 7.3 Godzilla that came out a couple years ago. So a big gas engine, that's interesting. But I'm kind of looking at all the different manufacturers now that I may be thinking about going gas next time around. I will say on the Fords, I'm not sure I'm sold on their new headlights. I think I like the 2022s better. Not sure about headlights on these new ones. Of course, this one's a diesel. You see a 6.7 power stroke there. They went and did what GM kind of did with this step on the side of the bed, which I do think they're kind of ugly, but I know how I use my truck and they'd be kind of handy. Don't mind the tire squealing. There's just lightnings flying around over here. They're having fun. Maybe we'll get a ride one of those later, see if we can do that. But yeah, the bed step, I would totally use this probably to get up in here. Because my truck, I just have like a 2-inch coil spring on the front. The rear is not lifted, but I do have 37-inch tires and I'm 5'10", so it is a little bit of a reach if I do that on another truck. So kind of ugly, but I kind of like them. And I've thought since 2019, since Ram went to the interior they have now, Ram was just blowing Ford and GM away. Ford has definitely caught up some. Hopefully we'll see the 2024 GM trucks, because they have really stepped up the interiors to where now everybody's on a more level playing field, and Ram's going to have the oldest interior around, although it's still very, very nice. I think maybe it is still the best interior, but Ford's pretty nice. Big widescreen. One thing I like is big turning knobs. I know the Dodge with the 12-inch screen, you still have to punch a button for temperature, but you do have turning knobs for volume and temperature on both sides. I just like, you can just reach and grab them. You don't have to just keep punching a button and spin them. I just like that a little bit better, personal preference. But yeah, I think the other manufacturers are really stepping up their interiors the last couple of years. So back seat, again, my idea of getting rid of the toolbox. This flips up. There's a lot of room here in this storage area right here. My current truck doesn't really have that. Stuff kind of slides around. There's no dividers or anything, so that's nice. And of course, Super Duty is going to be bigger than some of those other trucks. Plenty of room back here, maybe a little shorter than my Mega Cab. Everybody has a pretty big crew cab right now. The Mega Cab is just biggest. What's nice is you can recline mine a little bit when you're sitting back there. But as far as just sitting and leg room, if you don't think about the storage, you think all the big trucks have nice rear seats. Okay, so the Ford interior, I really wanted to go over the center console. So I didn't think the GMs had a whole lot of storage, especially compared to the Dodge. The Ford is probably a little better. You got a big cubby right here. You have 2 cup holders, or you have 4 cup holders, so that's pretty cool. I like that. You got a little slot up here to put phone or something. Open this. Here's your wireless charging and USBs. You got the nice big screen, turning knobs for everything, which I like. I like that. These feel really good, actually, too. And the console opens up. You got some room down in here. You still don't have as much space as the Dodge does down here. You have 2 cup holders for backseat people here. I think maybe the limited range on the Dodge has that. Maybe get that in Laramie as well. So that'd be nice for the boys back there. They just don't have great cup holders back there right now. So I would say, as far as the interiors, just sitting in them, I think maybe I'd still give Ram the edge. Ford comes in number 2 with their full center console. Probably the GM trucks last. I don't sit in that many Fords. They've always had this thing where the window goes down a little bit at the front so you can see a little better, and it does give you pretty good vision to see right out there with dropping the door sill down. So that's pretty nice. I do like that. These are nice, comfortable seats. So yeah, I do like the Ford interior as well. I think maybe the Dodge center console gets the edge with the storage and the way you can change things around, but this one's pretty good also. And this one, you can get this in the Rams about right down here. The ones they had over there didn't have that option, but this one has 6 built-in auxiliary switches. So if you want to put on light bars or winches or whatever else you want, you got a snowplow or something, so that's all pre-wired in here. Switches are ready to go, nice and factory looking. So that's pretty cool if you want to add some stuff to your truck. Another cool thing, more tailgate stuff. So Ford's got some different stuff. So you can let their tailgate down. Maybe. There we go. It's assisted. Everybody's assisted these days. I kind of like the step too. That'd be handy sometimes. Pull a step down. And you also have this. So you can help yourself just get right up in there. And if you need to measure some stuff, you do have a measuring stick here, whatever you want to call it. So you can lay some lumber on there and measure it and cut it out right on your tailgate. But I do kind of like the step. The step is kind of handy. So another thing I've thought is getting an older truck, like a dually with a flatbed, and I could daily drive a half-ton. So if I daily drove a half-ton, that opens up some options, but not sure the cost really works out on that. Something to think about. But you do open up electric options. So they have a Lightning Pro here, and if we're talking about getting rid of the toolbox, you go up to the front where you don't have a gas engine. You do get a frunk, so you do have all this. There's like a ton of space up here. I think this is just really cool. You still got the bed in the back, and then you have, again, all this storage space up here. You can put stuff, so that's an advantage of electric. That's pretty neat that you can use the frunk like that. What I do like about the Lightning, and I think why it will do really well, is unlike a lot of the other electric vehicles, they just kept this basically looking and functioning like a normal F-150. They didn't have to make it all weird shaped and stuff. So let's make electric vehicles like kind of normal looking, and I think we'll sell more of them. So I think they're coming. They're getting better all the time. It'll be interesting to see where they're at in 5 to 10 years, but I think the Lightning's cool because it looks normal. So let's say I did get an older truck that just stayed at the farm with a flatbed and a gooseneck hitch, so I don't need a big heavy-duty diesel anymore. Maybe I don't even need a half-ton. I could go down to a mid-size, so there's several options there. Here's a Colorado. I just wonder how cramped it feels after like 10 years of driving a 1-ton mega cab Cummins. That's not bad, actually. It's a little tiny truck. You sit how I would want to. Scooch back. I do like it. It's so much smaller. And it's doable, but like, so in my mega cab, so this is a Colorado, so a mid-size truck. So this is in my seating position. I'm 5'10". And my knees are against the seat. Like, I can't even hardly touch the front seat in my truck. Like, if I sit back in the seat, I can't touch the front seat in mine. I can touch the front of the front seat in this one. So our boys would be okay in here for a couple more years, but not too much longer. So more tiny trucks, even maybe tinier truck, the Maverick, which I think a lot of people like for in the city, probably not for me. Also, I'm guessing small. Front seat's fine. The front seat's okay. The passenger's a little closer to me than I'm used to. But yeah, the front seat's okay. Let's see what the back seat looks like. It's a pretty comfortable seating position for me. My oldest son's only a few inches shorter than me. Yeah, that looks pretty tight. I'm just saying, let me get in there. And pop in here. Could do it for a while, but I wouldn't want to go on a super long trip back here. It's a little tight. Slightly bigger than the Maverick. You'd have the Ranger. See if I fit in this thing. Hop in here. It's about the same size. Back seat doesn't look much bigger, but Ford Ranger. You try the back seat. It's about as tight as the Maverick, maybe. Squeeze in here. It's pretty small. Got headroom, just don't have the leg room. Silverado EV, all electric. Kind of like an old Avalanche. You got the mid-gate that folds down, so you can have a really long bed with that, and the tailgate down. You can probably see the big screen there in the center. Walk around. I do like the color scheme on the inside. It's the white and red. I'm not sure how clean I'd be able to keep that on the farm, but I do like that interior. That is pretty cool. Of course, this one I can't get in up close behind the fence with this one, but you have a front in the front of that one as well. So Silverado EV, interesting as well. Everybody has an electric now. Ram's got their Revolution here concept. Interesting looking truck. Look at the inside there. See how far back the rear seats go. Don't know much about it. This one's just a concept, where the Ford and Chevy are a little farther along. So see what's to come from Ram. But every full size is going to have a electric truck here before you know it. She's eyeing up a capstone trim Sequoia at the moment, but my wife has been here all day helping me carry on cameras and shoot video and stuff, and we're looking at a few other things other than trucks. So now I've spent the whole day here looking at all the HD trucks, some of the half tons, some of the little trucks. So probably really still in the HD market if I want to get something. So what would I get? I think Ford and GM have really stepped up their interiors to get up closer to what Ram's been doing the last several years. But I still think, for me, maybe exterior looks and function on the inside, I think Ram may still be where it's at for me. Diesel or gas next time, not sure about that yet, but we'll see. So as we're going out of here, you guys let me know what you think. If I'm going to buy another truck, if I go diesel again, maybe save some money and go gas, because maybe I don't really need a diesel anymore. Or do I go half ton? Do I stay in a 3500 Ford, Chevy, GMC, Ram, or maybe even Toyota? You guys tell me what you think. Thanks for watching. So when the farmer's life gets big enough, Honda Jet, what do you think?